Now, linear search, let's talk about it in detail. Linear search, since it is topic of PRM, you have to pay attention to it. Now, let's suppose that we have student names array. These two parentheses are describing that this is not a variable name, but an array name. It has got 1 to 99, 99 elements, 99 locations in this array. Obviously, if it is a student name, then it is a string type. So what happened that we have used name to search, a variable in which I'm gonna put that which name I would like to search for in this whole array of 99 locations. So this is single dimensional array. All I need is single for next. Single for next. So from for I first location lower bound, which is 1, to upper bound, which is 99. This is lower bound. This is upper bound. So that lower bound is being used here, and upper bound. Loop goes on and will check for the value in every single location of this array. Now, this is very simple. If we have found the name, so before loop starts, system will ask you that which name would you like to search for. So you enter the name, that name will be captured in name to search, and then system will look into first index if the name that you want to search for is present at this first index. If it is, then it will output name found at I. If it is not, this condition will not work. Next will send the control back to for. Now I will become 2 and student name 2 will be looked for the value that you have entered. If it is there, it says it is there. Otherwise it goes on and on and on. And all 1 to 99 array locations will be searched for. Now we need to consider two things. Number one, if we are looking for a value which is an ID or any value that is used to identify someone, something, for example, our national identification numbers, if we are finding those in the whole database or in the whole array, there will be just one number. So let's say if there are 99 students and we are looking for the ID of some student, if that ID is found, now we know that that ID is unique in nature and it will not be found anymore. So if it is found, there is no need to go any further. So let's say if we are finding an ID 1234 and that ID 1234 has been found on location 4. So there is no need to go after 4 to the location 99. So we have to get out. So that is the first type of search where when we find something and we know that that thing is no more be found, no more, it's no more there, we use what? We use exit for. So if we are sure that one class has got just one student with one name, then there is no need to go any further. But in the case of name, that's not true. A class might have many Mikes, many Zafar, many Alis and all. So this is not a good idea. But if we are looking for something which is actually for identification, then this is a good idea that you don't have to search anymore. So this exit for command, if in pseudocode and Visual Basic both, kicks out the control of this for next loop. So for next would not go any further. But if you think that let's say for this particular search, if we are searching for the names of students, then we have to actually understand that students might have same name, several students might have same name, so we should not put this exit for. So as many times the name appears, it will be output. Next, this is called flag. Now, what is flag? Flag is any variable, mostly a Boolean variable, which at the start of the subroutine or algorithm or pseudocode is made false and checked at the end if the change has brought to this variable, so that we have an idea that if something has happened while the pseudocode was being executed. In this particular case, this is found variable of the type Boolean is initialized at false, and if during the search we have found this particular name which we were looking for, then in this if condition we have made is found true. So let's say the name that you were looking for was not found. The whole array is red. It is not found. So once the for next finished, system will check if is found is still false, then system will output name was not found. If we don't use this flag, what will happen? If the value is found, the system will report, yes, the name was found at ith location, whatever the value of I where it was found, it will be reported. But if it is not found, there is no output at all. So user would always be wondering what happened. So that's why it's a good idea to make use of flag. Flags are always used. They are very important in exam. Marks for flags are always allocated. Mostly I have seen that flags are used with Boolean data type, but they can be used for with integer data type, where an integer can be made 0, and if it is something happened during the execution of program, then we make it 1, and then at the towards the end of the program we look for if the x is still 0, means nothing has happened, so we could report it, and if it is 1, then we report it as well. So now this is called linear search. So do expect that there might be two things that gonna appear in exam. Number one, whatever that you are looking for, if it is of unique nature, we're gonna use exit for, because if it is found once, it will never be found again. So we don't have to run the whole for next loop. But if it is not of unique nature, that like in this particular case, it's a student name, so there might be several students with the same name, so we are not going to put this exit for inside it. All right, number one. Number two, use of flag. If the name of the student is found, it is being reported, but if the name is not found, not even once, then at the end we should know that if it is found or not, so we should report it. We could report it further. So for that reason we make a switch of flag. The name flag is more popular. We make this flag is found and we initialize it at false, and towards the end we are checking if it is still false, means it is not found. But if it has been found, then in that particular condition where we are looking for it, and if it is there, the name that we are finding, we make first is found true, so that towards the end we have an idea that the value that we were looking for is already found, and we don't have to tell that name was not found. That is how it works. Now, searching. With searching, I told you about exit for. If you are looking for something which appears only once, and then you don't have to search anymore, because you know that if it is found once, it will never be found again. So you use exit for to get out of the loop for no more searches. And secondly, I told you that if you are looking for something which may reappear like names of the students, as it is mentioned in pseudocode, then we actually have to go the whole run of all indexes in the array. That will actually be finding multiple same names which we are trying to find. in the whole class. And then secondly, I told you about the flag. We use flag and make it false at the start. Flag is a variable which is of Boolean type, and we make it false. And towards the end, we check it. If it is still false, means that array was not having the name that we were looking for. And if during the execution of the program, if we find that name, we make this flag is found true. That help us to know towards the end of the algorithm that if the value was found or not found, so that we could output appropriate errors. Not errors, messages. So let's say that we have got this array from 1 to 5 and it has got names in it. The name of the array is name. Names are Ali, Ahmad, Adil, Zafar, Zen. So first we take input n. Let's say n is Zafar. Now we are looking for Zafar in this array. Zafar is found at 4, but how do we make our algorithm? So flag, I have this time I have made x as integer instead of false. I have made it an integer, so I initialize it at 0, and I have checked it towards the end. If it is still 0, then I have put not found. But if it is made once 1 during the execution of the program, then this message will not be output. So the whole loop goes on from I to for I 1 to 5, and name I, if name I is equal to n, which is Zafar, then it output that found at ith location and will make x is equal to 1, and if it is not found, x will remain 1, and the value not found will be found, would be output. Now let's suppose that this array is not from 1 to 5 anymore, rather it is from 1 to 10, and the value that we are looking for, Zafar, is at location 4, then 7, then 9. Now this x is equal to 0, which is a flag. Now when i's location will be 4, it will output found at 4. Found I means found 4. Then it will go on, and at when I the location, the number, the loop, the ith position will be 7, it will again say found 7. And when ith location will be 9, then it will say that found at 9. All right, so be careful. So when we are looking for the search which is unique, we, as soon as we find, we put exit for. But as in this case, here we have same name appearing several times. We don't have to put this exit for there. All right. So that is the fundamental